Next, we're going to switch and look at nonmetals. Remember, all nonmetals fall in the main group area, so instead of losing electrons like the metals do, nonmetals are going to usually gain electrons, and when they gain an electron, remember they make anions, and the charge of the anion we can also get from the periodic table. The rule is take the last digit of the group number, but this time we're going to subtract, and the number we subtract is always the number 8. So later on this semester we'll see where that 8 comes from. But for now it's just the magic number. It'll make more sense later on. But if we do a couple of examples with the main group nonmetals such as oxygen. Oxygen, capital O, is found on the periodic table. It's in group number 16. So we take the last digit of 16, that's a 6, subtract the magic number 8, and we get a -2. So when oxygen forms an ion, it will form an ion by gaining 2 electrons. So it has a net -2 charge. It has 2 more electrons than it does protons. This is just the opposite of what happens with metals. Bromine is in the halogen group 17 family. The last digit is 7. Subtract the magic number 8 and we get a -1. So a bromine atom will gain 1 extra electron, so it has a net -1 charge. And just like with the cations, we don't write the number 1, we only write numbers other than 1, and then we write the negative sign. So here's a quick little summary of the things we've just been talking about. Remember, this periodic table has the old-fashioned naming system. So if we write in the new numbers, we'll have 1 through 18. So as long as we're talking about a main group metal, which is groups 1 and 2, and 13 through 18, as long as we're on the metal side of that staircase, then all we have to do is look at the last digit of the group number and we'll know the charge that that element makes when it forms an ion. So for example, gallium is found in group 13, just like aluminum was. Last digit of 13 is 3. That's why gallium makes a +3 cation. Strontium, main group metal, found in group number 2. Last digit of 2 is 2, so strontium forms a +2 cation. There are 2 elements that do not fall within the main group that you can also predict the charge when it forms an ion. Those 2 are zinc and silver. Zinc and silver are found diagonally touching aluminum, so you have zinc right here and silver right there. So these are definitely not main group metals. And this table is showing you that transition metals, such as zinc and silver, usually form cations that have various charges. So if it's various, we can't predict it, but for these 2, you can. And the way that you can remember this, aluminum, drop down on the diagonal, you hit zinc, drop 1 from aluminum's charge. So you go from +3 to +2, so zinc will form a +2 cation. Silver, we keep dropping on that diagonal, so we go from 3 to 2. Silver will be a +1. So we're not getting it from the last digit of the group number. These transition metals are ones you need to remember. On the non-metal side, remember you're going to subtract the magic number 8. So sulfur, for example, is in group number 16. The last digit of 16. Subtract the magic number 8. 6 minus 8 gives you a -2, and that's why sulfur is shown with a -2 anion.